The temperature outside is warming up just in time for the hottest rivalry in the Tri-Metro Conference as we present a Wednesday night edition of high school girls basketball. The DeLaSalle Islanders pay a visit at 8-4. They had a slow start, but they are coming in hot. Winners of 4 in a row. They will look to get the Conference Series sweep over the Holy Angels Stars, but Holy Angels also on a hot streak, winners of 5 in a row. Hello everyone, I'm Mike Peden, joined by LaToya, Turk. LaToya, seemingly every year we find a way to cover DeLaSalle Holy Angels. The contenders look a little different, especially on DeLaSalle's end, but the result is the same. Whenever these two meet, it's a high-octane affair.
Yeah, both really dominant programs in their conference. Great coaches, great community. So whenever these two match up, we're always going to have a good showdown.
DeLaSalle got off to a slow start, and folks like myself were wondering maybe their best years are behind them. They've won 4 in a row, and they've done a lot of winning over the last several games. A couple big reasons for that: Savannah White and Sydney Runsewe. Savannah White, a walking double-double. Sydney Runsewe, we know she can knock down the three. The Islanders won't have IT Salam. She's out due to COVID protocols, but she'll be back soon. That being said, this DeLaSalle team has a great mix of experience and youth and daring do.
Yeah, and that's going to be huge because right behind them, they do have some younger players that are contributing, Ariana Munster as well as Malia White, who will be contributing to their varsity roster tonight. But it's going to be very hard to compete with the 6'2" Savannah at the point guard position.
And don't forget Anisha Scott, another one of the young guns to keep an eye on. For Holy Angels, they have gone through the gamut of roster combinations. Kassie Caron making her way back, suffered an ankle injury in December, gave it a go last week, tweaked it. She'll give it another try tonight. That being said, LaToya, even in Kassie Caron's absence, Grace Massaquoi and Jenna Buer picked up the slack. Grace Massaquoi, 7 double-doubles. Jenna Buer with a lot of double-digit games, but having Kassie back gives them another option with that dynamic offense.
Kassie brings a ton of energy, a ton of competitiveness to this on the floor when she's on the floor. And so it's going to be hard if she's not on the floor and able to play at 100% to compete with DeLaSalle.
That being said, if Grace Massaquoi and Jenna Buer have a big game, we know how Massaquoi can go off. She dropped 32 against Benilde St. Margaret's. I would not want to write off this Holy Angels team, even if Kassie isn't at 100%.
Absolutely. Grace can hold it for herself. You know, we've seen her dominate in the paint. That's going to be very interesting to watch how she matches up with the younger post players from DeLaSalle. With her experience underneath the paint, she dominates in rebounds, and she also dominates defensively, getting in those passing lanes and leading the break.
This game could very well come down to which post player, Massaquoi or White, has the better performance down low. We'll be back to kick off this Tri-Metro rivalry in a moment. Twin City Sports Broadcasting, and a whole lot more. That's what you get from TSB Television. We provide long-lasting digital coverage of your favorite athletes from the preps to the pros. Dazzling moves. Holloman, good if it goes. Yes! Game winners. James, she's in trouble. Finds James. Toss shot! It goes in! And everything in between. Before we let you go, do you want to say hi to anybody?
Oh, I don't know. Let's put me on the spot there.
If you want to connect with our audience, visit us at patreon.com/TSB Television or sponsor our coverage through PayPal and Cash App. Thank you for watching. Mike Peden and LaToya Turk back with you. Round 2 of DeLaSalle and Holy Angels. If you're wondering how round 1 went, these two teams met January 4th. DeLaSalle won that one 69-63. The difference between the first round and this matchup, IT Salam was in the lineup for DeLaSalle. Holy Angels didn't have Kassie Caron, so if you go off that metric, that might tilt the edge to Holy Angels. But Sydney Runsewe went off season high 26 points in that game, and Grace Massaquoi had 22 on her end. I wouldn't be surprised if those two are a factor again.
Yeah, we're definitely going to see Grace do what she does in the paint area, and it's going to be interesting to see how Ariana Monster handles that, her Grace in that post. But also, you know, we have Kassie back, and Kassie can shoot that deep three, and so you're definitely going to have to contend that.
If you're wondering, Ariana Meister, the younger sister of Nevaeh Meister, who went to Tartan and then Cretin-Durham Hall. Kassie Caron, of course, going to Missouri Western. Grace Massaquoi has not signed. And on DeLaSalle's end, Savannah White committed to play at Wisconsin, and Sydney Runsewe committed to play at Division II Quincy in Illinois.
Yeah, fun fact about Ariana, her younger sister had an opportunity to play for me 4th and 5th grade, and Ariana at the time wanted nothing to do with basketball. And if you've watched any of the prior broadcasts, you know Nevaeh's probably 5'5" with heels on, and Ariana, here she is, a 9th grader standing at almost 6 feet tall.
Nevaeh is probably wondering what happened. How did I get the short end of the stick? I'll show myself out now. But before I do, I will introduce the starters for you. DeLaSalle, the visitors. Savannah White, number 2. Anisha Scott, number 12. Sydney Runsewe, number 15. Ariana Meister, the freshman, number 24. And another freshman, Jordan Johnson, number 45. Holy Angels, they bring back their starting 5, first time in a while, so you'll see Ella Pritchard, number 1, the Krista Ray Jesuit transfer. Grace Massaquoi, number 2. Kira O'Rourke, number 10. Elizabeth Pierce, number 31. And Kassie Caron, number 42. DeLaSalle, they're playing a loaded second half of the schedule. They had a holiday tournament canceled due to COVID protocols, so before Christmas, they only had 4 games. They are playing every Saturday through the rest of the season. That includes a couple of games these past 2 Saturdays with Maple Grove and Bloomington Jefferson. Holy Angels right away wins the tip and goes off running. White with the no-look skip to Runsewe for 3. Sydney, she's gone through hot and cold phases, but that hasn't stopped her from firing away behind the arc, and that will be a foul on White.
You know, right away we see White.
No, not foul, no, out of bounds. Go ahead.
Yeah, we see Savannah. She has longer arms, longer frame. You know, how often do we get to see the point guard do the tip at the beginning of the game?
Here's Kassie Caron with a 3 of her own, can't bank it in. Rebound and the putback for Elizabeth Pierce.
And you know, Mike, that was one thing that we saw with Holy Angels the last time that we were here, was that the second chance opportunities, they really crashed the boards. And so that's going to be something that DeLaSalle wants to take note of and not allow them to get those second chance shots.
Grace Massaquoi, 7 double-doubles, and Jenna Buer picked up her first double-double of the season against Minneapolis Washburn. 10 points, 11 rebounds. So there's some lanky board crashers on this Holy Angels group. Pritchard used up the dribble. Finds O'Rourke.
You know, Holy Angels has this pass and cut, this dive offense that they do, which is really going to force DeLaSalle to move their feet defensively and not get in foul trouble, which so far they're doing a good job at.
And they get the stop. (16-38). Long way to go, though. Holy Angels swept the series last year. Rebound and a putback for Sydney Runsewe. Now that you don't see often.
Right, great execution.
That is a foul before the shot. It will go against Johnson. Grace Massaquoi, she was hoping it was an and one, but the official said no.
And that's one thing that DeLaSalle is going to want to keep an eye on, is her running that lane. She runs that lane very well. Grace hasn't been traditionally known to be an outside shooter, but she will put the ball on the floor and get to the rack.
Side out for the Stars. Pierce off balance. Grace Massaquoi, that was close. Sydney Runsewe converts on the fast break. Savannah White gets the dime.
And that's just a smart heads-up play from a senior, knowing where to be offensively, breaking that press.
White averaging 4 assists per game as the two seniors hook up. In fact, White leads the team in that mark. So your starting point guard is also your best post player.
Got to use what you got. And there's Sydney again.
That time, she drills the corner 3. And Runsewe is off to a quick 7.
You know, as a senior, that's what we expect to see, and you see her running the floor. I talked to her dad before the game, and he said one of the things that she worked on in the offseason was her strength training and her leadership ability. And so Runsewe's been around the game for quite some time. I can remember her as early as 4th or 5th grade being in the varsity gym and working out with some of the young ladies. And so her basketball IQ is extremely high.
At the line, Ella Pritchard. On the season, Pritchard, 5.5 points per game. Just 46% from the free throw line. And I spoke with Joe Berg beforehand. He said free throws played a role in the first meeting with DeLaSalle. And the Islanders on the run again.
Yeah, someone's not dropping on the backside of that press, and it's allowing Holy Angels to continue to score on that press that DeLaSalle's putting on them.
Holy Angels looking for the answer. I should point out neither team shot all that well. DeLaSalle 8 of 20 from the free throw line in the first meeting. Holy Angels 5 of 17. But Joe told me when you have a close margin, 6 points, and you leave a lot of points empty at the line, you look back on that. So
absolutely.
We'll have to see how the free throws play out. Go ahead.
And free throws are totally fixable. Ladies should be shooting above 70% from the free throw line.
You never know when you'll need it. Kassie Caron cuts her way in, but too strong. Runsewe gets the rebound, but she was harassed. Coughs it up.
Not today.
That's a foul, though. Anisha Scott got hit with a foul, so Kassie will go to the line.
That does amazing things for your confidence as a guard.
Well, for someone like Scott, if you can pull that off without getting fouled, I think that's going to be the key, because you don't want to give one of the best shooters on Holy Angels a free trip to the line. But Kassie Caron can't hit the front end. 75% free throw shooter again. Hasn't played the last several games as she recovered from an ankle injury. And she blanks. Well, Scott got the stop. Now she's got it. The skip to Bass for 3. Bullseye. That's Estelle Bass. And DeLaSalle, they are off to the races. Another steal. The Islanders up 12-4. Runsewe tried to go baseline, went into traffic.
That was White.
That was White, you're right. And that's Jenna Buer. Holy Angels going to their bench. It's been a minute since I last covered DeLaSalle. The names and numbers are coming back to me.
There's just a few teams that I know more players than you might. Just a few.
DeLaSalle, probably one of them.
Yes.
Here comes Caron. Kassie off to a slow start.
And once again, we see this whole backside completely open for DeLaSalle.
The Islanders lead 12-4. I remember when they had a slow start, lost to Como Park, lost to Benilde St. Margaret's, and you started to wonder maybe their best years were behind them after the coaching transition. But the Islanders making a statement early. Holy Angels finally gets a play to go their way.
It's very important when you have a offensive breakout that, you know, you run with your player just in case something like that happens and she misses, that you're there for that second chance opportunity. And here's another 3-on-3.
Vivian Carter scoring the last bucket for Holy Angels. An 8th grader. DeLaSalle starting 2 freshmen. We've spoken at length about the young guns all across the state. Kevin Anderson made an observation recently about that trend. And most notably, these more experienced young guns, if you will, are pushing out some of the marginal older players.
Yes. They have a ton more opportunity and training opportunities than what we've traditionally seen. And with that rebound, we see Massaquoi White. She's a freshman.
Malia coming back from an ankle sprain.
Malia's also 2 years as a varsity starter over at Maranatha. She comes from huge basketball background.
Jump ball, DeLaSalle with the arrow. 12:47 left in the first half. And LaToya, I'm a little surprised. I'm not saying that DeLaSalle is overrated, but I thought with them down IT Salam, one of their big scores, they might struggle a bit, but they're the ones flying so far. This is also why we play the games.
Yes. And for me, it's just execution and keeping Holy Angels off the boards.
Here comes Pritchard. She's fouled by Runsewe. So Pritchard back to the line for 2. Pritchard doesn't score a lot, but she is one of the rebounding specialists for Holy Angels, averaging 7.6 rebounds a game. She came over from Cristo Rey Jesuit, was the team's leading scorer there.
Yes, I remember her. And, being a dominant rebounder like that, you're going to get a lot of opportunity to go to the free throw line, because when you go back up, a lot of times you get fouled underneath that basket. So this is definitely going to be something she wants to concentrate on, is advancing her free throw ability here.
In particular, she went 0 for 5 in the first meeting against DeLaSalle from the free throw line, and as you were saying, they matter. They're not the sexiest way to score, but they do matter. Savannah White, 3-ball, corner pocket. White has been flexing that 3-point shot. She got one to go down.
That seems to be DeLaSalle's sweet spot right there, that baseline. That's a defensive weakness here for Holy Angels. We've seen them hit a couple of threes right there from that spot. And then we get the return here.
That's Kassie Caron, Cassie's younger sister. Bass fakes. Scott into traffic, count it. I don't know how she pulled that off. Scott was way off balance, but maintained her concentration. So she'll have a chance for a 3-point play.
And she's also a 9th grader. Very young roster here.
As we said in the open, this DeLaSalle team, a mix of experience and youth and daring do. A lot of freshmen, although Massaquoi White, no stranger to this sport. Maester, Scott. If you went off of last year's numbers, again, you might think DeLaSalle's reign has come to an end, but this influx of youth that have arrived. Here comes Holy Angels, traveling call, but this influx of youth with James Fasten in his 2nd season, helping rewrite DeLaSalle's identity. And at the start of the year, I thought this would be Holy Angels and their conference to play with this AC fit. DeLaSalle saying not so fast.
And, coming into DeLaSalle and the history that they have for their girls basketball program, there's a huge shoes for him to fill. We had a lot of transfers and, like you said, a lot of younger players here. And so just
look out.
That took me by shock there. But we know she can knock those down. Just getting them to gel and mesh together, especially when you have a younger team, you have a little more time to work with them.
Well, James Fassett, a graduate of DeLaSalle, but like you said, their history, they had a lot of experience in the sport. It wasn't until Faith Johnson-Patterson got the job years ago that they won their first championship, win 3 in a row, actually.
Well, she just has a way of doing that.
Tanisha Scott got one for this team in 2019. Would have had a chance to repeat in 2020, but the pandemic blew that up. Kassie Caron lines up a deep 3, and it's pure. And Holy Angels, plenty of history on their end. They've made it to state every year since 2016, and they won it all back in 2016.
That was Cassie's way of saying, put some respect on my name. Did you see how deep she was on that three-point shot?
She can go from deep.
Yeah.
She can line them up from deep. 10:33 to go, 17-12. So we'll see if that 3 gives Holy Angels a bit of momentum. Right now, their shots just aren't falling. And Kassie Caron struggling early, but that last make, you know this, LaToya, sometimes for shooters, seeing that first one go in makes all the difference.
Yeah, you find your range, you find your sweet spot. And coming off an ankle injury, sometimes that plays in the back of your head too, because your shot really starts from the bottom up. And so if she feels something, it could change the whole dynamic of her rotation. So we just really don't know what's going on. But I think being the strong player that she is, it's going to click here really soon.
Kassie Caron, a 3-sport athlete. That is Ariana Meister. She banks it off the glass. A welcome play for DeLaSalle after the timeout. Caron fakes the 3. Couple of screens. There's Massaquoi. Looking to, I thought she was going to take it. Instead, she'll feed it to Erin Kennedy. That's one of the newer players getting some time.
And so those long arms of Savannah might be a deterrent for Grace because we've seen her take that shot 1,000 times. So
another foul that sends Pritchard to the line. And with the way Pritchard has been shooting all season, obviously you don't want to be racking up fouls, but maybe not the worst thing in the world if you send somebody who has run into some turbulence at the free throw line.
Yeah, coaches definitely look at that, especially when you come down to the stretch and you have to foul a player. They'll definitely take note of that.
One reason why I stress it so often, for one, it's one of the few stats I can keep track of in real time, but 2, you never know when it will come into play.
And once again, that
Runsewe steps into a 3, bullseye.
And she even had options on that. This Holy Angels, they're not dropping back.
So Runsewe, unofficially, I've got her at 10. Massaquoi changes direction. Pritchard through the lane. That was a tough assignment there. DeLaSalle with numbers. Runsewe with another finish. And White is racking up dimes here.
She's just outsmarting that press that Holy Angels is putting on. Holy Angels going to have to get a little more snappy defensively if they want to compete with this DeLaSalle team.
Another deep 3 for Caron. That time it's short. Savannah White, a double-double in every game this season.
And she's doing an excellent job of keeping Grace off the boards tonight.
That is remarkable on the part of White, leading the team in assists and also getting a double-double. But point forwards are the new thing, or like orange is the new black.
I think Savannah has such great athletic ability. She could pretty much play any position on the floor that she wanted to. We talk about the stretch 4. She really can play all 5 positions.
Runsewe can't knock down the 3 that time, and a dead ball rebound to Holy Angels. You do wonder how she'll fare at Wisconsin. That is not a school with a lot of history on their side, and they are struggling again this year, but they do have Marissa Mosley in her first season. So I'll be curious to see how she fits into a program that doesn't have a lot of success in recent memory.
Well, it only takes one player. We've seen Suzanne go out there. We've seen Tamara Timur go out there and be successful. So
Jessie Stomsky.
Yes. So I think she's going to find her way. Keep going.
I don't know if you and I should start a podcast about all this. I have a feeling if we did, we'd never stop recording. Here's White. Can't hit the 3 there, but the Islanders scrapping for rebounds. White swoops in. She finds Runsewe, another 3.
And Savannah's all over the place.
And that's going to result
She's doing a great job facilitating.
For Jordan Johnson. White doing a little bit of everything, even though she only has 1 3-pointer to her credit.
And then you can see Holy Angels, they're a little out of sync, running their set.
Jenna Buer goes baseline.
Sometimes that's all you need is to find that little opening, that little gap where you can just continue to work that.
DeLaSalle looking to break the press. It doesn't pay off that time. 26-16, and I've said this more than once, just because one team is up big early doesn't mean the game is out of reach. Not with these two. A couple years ago when I covered this series, DeLaSalle and Holy Angels actually traded runs. Both teams had double-digit leads. Buer feeling it. What were you saying, LaToya?
Just finding her spot, hit a couple shots and find her spot.
So Buer has 5 off the bench, averaging 12 a game. Double digits in 10 of her last 11.
Those are good numbers.
Making the most out of her time with Kassie Caron having to recover from injury. Scott. Kassie Caron swats that one away.
How about those apples? How about those apples?
How about Honeycrisp or Jazz or no, I'm sorry, that's another type of apple. Here's Scott. She launches a 3. That's off the mark.
I have to go back and watch the film. I don't know. Do Holy Angels, they traditionally play a zone defense, or do they play man-to-man?
Not often.
Okay.
But they do get an offensive rebound from Pritchard. Massaquoi.
Savannah's a huge deterrent for her because we've seen her body people down there left and right, and so just having that 6'2" wingspan is a huge deterrent.
On this DeLaSalle team, we mentioned in the Open they get Mankato East on Saturday. They end the regular season against Minnehaha Academy. Those two schools have a lengthy rivalry. White for 3.
That was a much better defensive rotation for Holy Angels, that possession. The rotation was extremely important.
Kassie Caron steps into another deep 3. And Holy Angels, even though they've run into some headwinds, they're only down by 4. And that's a foul on Caron. That will be her second. And from up here, it looked like she didn't get herself set in time.
Yeah, she got to make a couple decisions there.
Split second faster, and I think Caron would have had her. So Caron goes to the bench. That's not what Holy Angels was looking for. Runsewe fires the 3. Bullseye.
And we know that Sydney will light it up just like Carey from that 3-point line.
I don't know if it's the matchup, but Sydney Runsewe has exploded twice against her Tri-Metro rival. She could add 3 more here. Dead ball rebound to DeLaSalle. 29-22. Unofficially, I've got Runsewe at 15.
Those are nice numbers, Sid. So it's going to just require a lot of hands up, a lot of talking on defensive rotation against this DeLaSalle team, especially, when you have playing a zone. One way to get them out of a zone is shoot them out of the zone.
We know Runsewe and White, they're not the most accurate of 3-point shooters, but they can knock them down. Or they can go inside. Meister had it, but it just bounced out. And she gets the foul call. I think Kassie Caron is a little upset, but Meister showcasing her resiliency. She had, 2 or 3 blue jerseys surrounding her and wasn't going to give up that ball.
And, one thing I about Ariana is that she also has ball handling ability, too. So hopefully she'll get to demonstrate a little of that today in the open court. But you can also see Sydney, we talked about her developing more of a leadership role on the team. She's definitely big-upping some of the younger girls as they go through transitions on the floor.
3-ball corner pocket for Kassie Caron. And you were mentioning Meister's ball handling. She took that inbound feed in for 2 in the last possession. Pull up. Runsewe can't knock it down.
She's
nice
feeling
fake,
it, though.
Holy Angels got to be careful. O'Rourke from the top of the key. Yes! That gets her on the board. And it's now a one-possession game, 31-28. White steps into the 3. Off the mark. The Stars slowly inching their way back. Caron can tie it up here. Bullseye!
And you know, one thing that I love seeing is that neither one of the coaches have called a timeout. They're allowing the girls to play and make those decisions on the court.
Well, both coaches have a lot of experience on their side as White gets the friendly bounce on the turnaround jumper.
Savannah makes it look so easy. She's like, this is child's play.
Buer wants in on the action, can't hit the 3. And the rebound goes to Bass. James Fassett, a long time coaching. He was at Anoka, of course, taking that 2-win team to the state tournament in 2011. And Dan Woods, one of the longtime fixtures at Holy Angels. Meister is fouled. So to your point, LaToya, I don't think either coach is going to be trigger happy with the timeout.
Right.
When you look at all the experience on the floor.
Absolutely.
Sydney, Savannah, Kassie, Grace, they've seen just about everything. And you know this, basketball's a game of runs, so you're not going to know how to work your way through it until you go through it. Holy Angels with the steal, and they get settled in time to score on the fast break. That's Erin Kennedy. Savannah White, count it.
And you know, Savannah was, you could see it in her body language. She was actually looking to distribute it, but no one dropped down for her. So, you know, she did what she knows how to do. She scored.
So White to the line. And the score has been updated, so it is 36-33. We've got ourselves a game. Kassie Caron on the take. Says right back at you.
Yeah, that's one thing we've seen her working on game after game is taking the ball to the rack. And I was a little concerned with her ankle injury if she would still do that. But Kassie also has long arms, so she's able to get up above her defender.
Well, Kassie also has a competitive spirit. She wanted to play in the Washburn game, but her coaches overruled her, and Joe Berg, Dan Woods, they take the long-form approach. I think most coaches would. Washburn, not a team you have to worry about as much. Save yourself for the big one. Kassie Caron completes the three-point play, and we're tied again. DeLaSalle cutting on that quick jump. Holy Angels can take the lead here. Not quite. But you do have to give them props. They were down, I think, by 10 or close to it, and it felt like they were down by more with the way DeLaSalle was working the boards, but Holy Angels
kept chipping away.
They've found a way to adapt. Then again, what else would you expect from two esteemed Tri-Metro Conference rivals? Anisha Scott.
You really can't
She's making all the tough shots.
Yeah, you really can't leave anything on the floor here.
Kassie Caron drops another three-point bomb. She's got 12. And it's 39-38 Holy Angels. Kassie Caron has already matched a season high. White in trouble.
You know, and she's a shooter. You just got to give her a good pass, a decent pass.
Scott again. Can't get the runner. And the pendulum slowly swinging in the direction of the Stars. Caron again on the take. Kassie Caron, that is. I forget there are two Carons on the floor. And the Caron sisters have combined for 23 points. White, side fade. Three goes off the back iron.
That was a really nice move there, Savannah.
So, LaToya, what have you noticed over the last few minutes that have allowed Holy Angels to take the lead?
Well, one, the concern about foul trouble for DeLaSalle. So they have a couple of their bigs who've picked up 2 fouls. So they're taking the ball right into the lane, and then the three-point shots. They're not contesting their three-point shooting. So they've gotten a couple of threes to knock down to chip away at that lead and now take it.
Jordan Johnson has 2 fouls, one of the post players you mentioned. High-low, but into a double team. That's not an easy thing to do. So Scott will get credit for the steal. Here's Runsewe not giving up on those threes.
And it was a little dicey. Runsewe has 2 fouls, and he had to bring her back in to be a defensive stop.
There's White and Massaquoi. Massaquoi has yet to score, but as you noted, LaToya, Savannah White doing solid work, closing in on her. That closeout defense. That being said, Kassie Caron, he's on the bench right now, has dropped several threes to help the Holy Angels cause. Grace Massaquoi can't get the bounce and commits the foul. That will send Savannah White to the line with the Islanders in the bonus.
And that's her first. That puts us in the bonus.
Wow, that was a foul. Okay.
Not much of one, but enough to tag Massaquoi. White to the line. And leaves it empty.
And Savannah's not doing anything like extraordinary on defense besides raising those hands. And at 6'2", it just makes it really difficult to see over the top of her.
White had a double-double. Well, as I said, double-double in every game. She had 12 and 11 in the first meeting. Buer for 3. Swish! Another triple for the Stars. It's their largest lead of the game. Meister. Turnaround.
And as a freshman, I can't wait to see what that looks like next year, in her junior year, and her senior year, because she's going to continue to do that move.
O'Rourke with a driving kick on the line. And Holy Angels gets a free ball. White blocks Buer from behind. White will take it herself, but too strong. A chance for the Stars to put up an exclamation point on this constellation. Buer, no good. Now the Islanders have time. 6 seconds. Runsewe can't catch up to it.
Those are hard. That's why we always say lead them to the basket. Put the ball right in front of the basket for them. But you know what, Runsewe, you never know, because she might flare out for the three-point shot. So
Holy Angels has 3.8 if they can hook up with the target in time.
Ooh.
O'Rourke looking for someone. Quick passing set. Caron steps into the 3. She looked a little off balance, but Holy Angels ends the first half with authority, 44-38. It was DeLaSalle who got off to that flying start. Holy Angels slowly turned the tide, and a barrage of three-pointers certainly helped that cause.
Yeah, what a battle. At the beginning, DeLaSalle had the press on. Holy Angels was leaving that back open, and Runsewe was able to hit a couple of threes. They were able to get a few little bunnies underneath the basket. But as the game progressed, they were able to stop those easy shots from DeLaSalle and get some transition buckets and second chance opportunities for themselves.
A wild game of twists and turns. Will the second half bring us more of it? Stick around and we'll give you the answer. This is high school girls basketball.
Twin Cities Sports Broadcasting, and a whole lot more. That's what you get from TSB Television. We provide long-lasting digital coverage of your favorite athletes from the preps to the pros. Dazzling moves.
Holloman, good if it goes. Yes!
Game winners.
From James. She's in trouble. Finds James. Toss shot! It goes in!
and everything in between. Before we let you go, do you want to say hi to anybody?
Oh, I don't know. That put me on the spot there.
If you want to connect with our audience, visit us at patreon.com/TSB Television or sponsor our coverage through PayPal and Cash App. Thank you for watching.
Mike Peden and LaToya Turk with you at Holy Angels in Richfield, where the Stars lead the Islanders 44-38 in round 2 of the biggest Tri-Metro rivalry of the season. Leading scores, Kassie Caron already matching a season high, 4 triples, that equals 12 points. Kassie Caron with 11, overcoming a slow start. Those are your notables. Jenna Buer has 8 off the bench. DeLaSalle, Sydney Runsewe, she got off on a blazing start, 15 points. Savannah White with 8, but the bench scoring, LaToya, 20 points from the Stars. DeLaSalle just 2. Kassie Caron and Jenna Buer making a world of difference.
I was speechless there for a moment.
What, you?
Sorry about that. The Holy Angels bench, they showed up big time, and that's going to be important that everyone has to do their part. This next half is going to be extremely interesting to see what adjustments are being made, especially for this DeLaSalle press that they've put on Holy Angels, which they were able. Holy Angels didn't do a great job of recovering from it. But as you see, they went into the half with the lead.
And as you stated earlier, Jordan Johnson, the DeLaSalle post, got into some foul trouble. That opened up the lane. Of course, when Holy Angels is knocking down threes the way they were, you don't need to worry about interior penetration. That time they do try to go inside, and the pass was deflected. And Kassie Caron just happened to be out of bounds at the wrong time. Holy Angels 12-3, DeLaSalle 8-4, and looking ahead, Holy Angels has a couple more tests, realistically speaking. Becker on February 19th and Providence Academy will have that game. Sydney White is fouled and will shoot 3. DeLaSalle, again, backloading the second half of the season. Mankato East on January 29th. That is one we're circling, Mankato East, in the top 10 in the 3A poll. You also have Champlain Park on the 23rd, Minnehaha Academy on the 25th. Those are the most notable games remaining on the DeLaSalle calendar.
Yeah, we're getting down to that time, coming around the second half of conference play, and so it's going to be interesting to see how everyone fares.
And Savannah White stripped to the free throw line could be summed up with this phrase: 2 out of 3 ain't bad. Another deep 3 for Kassie Caron. As a fan or a parent, well, hang on, DeLaSalle's numbers. Runsewe fires the 3. Okay.
And that's one thing that we know that she can do.
And just like that, the Islanders make it a 1-point game. I was going to say, LaToya, when you see players fire away from deep like that, we know Sarah Scalia, Kassie can do it, but when you see players go that far out, does that make you squirm a little bit?
Not at all, because, you know, I have a shooter in my house, and so I know it's all repetition.
She can shoot.
It's all practice, and so I'm totally comfortable seeing a Scalia or Runsewe take that deep shot, because I know they've gotten in the gym and and that's what they do.
It's certainly not something you would have seen 10, 20 years ago.
Right.
DeLaSalle, their entry pass was denied.
10, 20 years ago, we were more focused on running our sets. You know, running our sets, more high advanced IQ, just sitting down, setting up picks, rolling, getting your shooters open. And now it's a different game.
44-43, DeLaSalle scoring a quick 5 to start the second half. Looking to replicate the beginning from the first half. Grace Massaquoi has yet to get on the board. Caron is blocked from behind. DeLaSalle can run it. Here's Meister.
And even with 2 fouls, Runsewe is still hooping.
She leaves that 3 short, though, and Anisha Scott responds on the other end.
And Scott's picked off 2 passes that were intended for Grace here in the last few transitions.
Runsewe, can she catch up to Caron? Nope. Kassie will beat her with a hesitation move. Kira O'Rourke tips the pass and goes in for the finish.
And so you can see this soft press here from Holy Angels is working.
Meister from 13, swish.
And you know, Meister and Johnson, if they get in sync, they'll have a really nice high-low game.
Turnover on Holy Angels. Malia White goes in, 48-45.
And so I'm going to go out on a limb. I'm going to predict if we can keep Malia White and Jordan and Ariana together, they'll have a dynamic high-low and inside-outside game here at DeLaSalle in the next few years.
White going to Jordan Johnson, but she comes up short. Stars looking to run it. Pritchard. Savannah White shuts that door. O'Rourke goes through her, but can't get the roll. Scott brings it up and draws the foul on Pritchard. And they give her the shooting motion? It didn't look like she was going up, but I'm up here, they're down there.
I know.
Scott goes to the line for 2.
Once we retire, I'm going to do a podcast on the refs. That way I don't, I won't be judged.
Well, as I said in an earlier game, I can give you my opinion, my analysis, but that's about it.
Yes.
Scott averaging 6.2 points per game, 50% free throw shooter. Didn't have a lot of attempts on the season, 8 of 16. But she knocks down both.
You know, and everyone has something to say about the refs, especially, you know, this weekend we were out at Hopkins at the ESPN top high school game, and the DeSoto was number 2 team in the country. 2 of their players fouled out.
I think just about everyone has something to say about officials. I'll speak my mind, but there's far too much vitriol for me to go that deep. I'm not interested in mudslinging. Actually, a few of my buddies are officials. And Buer is fouled from behind. One of them, Lamar Sullivan, who is a big basketball fan. You can often find him at games even when he's not reffing them.
Yes.
And Lonnie Anderson, who is our resident historian.
No, check that. Fouls on DeLaSalle, number 32, Malia White. At the line, number 5, Jenna Buer.
Jenna Buer to shoot 2.
And you can see her cheering for herself at the free throw line.
That was a Plinko bounce if I ever saw one. Buer shooting about 70%. Knocks down both. And it's a 3-point game again. Buer with another double-digit scoring effort. And Pritchard is hit with her 3rd foul. Didn't like that call. Savannah White just smiling it off.
Chuckles.
Falls on the Stars, number 1, Ella Pritchard. That's her 3rd personal.
And you know, this crowd, you can see the fan section trying to get a rise out of Savannah. She'll just score. She'll just score on you.
She does lead the Islanders in scoring. Bass for 3. Swish. And Bass ties it up with her 2nd triple. 50-50. Pritchard, mid-range J, too strong. Buer, fouled by White.
And we talked about those second chance opportunities with Holy Angels. They're all crashing the board.
Fouls on the DeLaSalle Islanders, number 2, Savannah White. That's her 1st. At the line, number 5, Jenna Buer. She'll shoot 2.
So Buer to shoot 2 more. That's the first personal on White. And the run of consistency Buer has had, again, Kassie Caron missing several games, so that gives her more time, but scoring 10 points or more and now 11 of the last 12 games.
Being on the floor and actively playing boosts your confidence immensely.
And Buer, the sophomore, so I imagine she will have an integral part of the Stars team. White fires the corner three and nails it.
And once again, you can see it on Savannah's face. She's waiting for her team to start their offensive set, and they didn't. So what did she do? She took the shot.
And Holy Angels, maybe not the time for a touchdown pass as DeLaSalle got themselves set. Easy pickings for White. And a foul is called on the Stars.
Fouls on the Stars, number 5 for a hit. That's Jenna Buer.
Jenna Buer hit with her first personal. And here comes Massaquoi, who has yet to score. She had 22 points in the first meeting.
And Holy Angels, you know, they want to be careful because Scott's driving into that lane and is leaving Runsewe and White wide open for those three-point shots.
Well, Runsewe has been hit or miss. White looking to fire again. And Holy Angels, they almost boxed themselves out. But Massaquoi does get the rebound. Kassie Caron using the three as a fake.
And both of them. I was worried about that because they both have 2 fouls, Grace and Kassie. So I was hoping that they didn't commit a foul in the backcourt, but they didn't.
And they catch a break as Malia White's pass was offline. Kassie Caron will go to the bench. O'Rourke to Kaylee Caron. She was feeling it in the first half. Can't hit the three there. DeLaSalle unable to corral the rebound, so Holy Angels will get another chance. 12:07 remains in the second half. We should point out Holy Angels still has all 5 of their timeouts, and DeLaSalle has 4. So if this game is close toward the end, we could be here a while.
And I'm wondering if it's going to come down to those free throw shots.
Very well could. But Savannah White has other ideas, times the pass, and puts it in. She's up to 15. The Islanders with their largest lead of the second half. Massaquoi on White. Grace just can't get anything past her. Grace again. Around, pass, and she finally gets on the board.
And, you know, Grace has a tremendous athletic ability, and I think if she would just get out and run, she'd be able to get some easy buckets. She's a little timid this game.
You wonder if the defensive effort that White has placed on her is having an impact. Malia White lines up the three. Runsewe gets the bounce for the rebound, and Kaylee Caron hit with a foul.
Kaylee Caron on the foul for the Stars.
We should point out, not only is conference bragging rights up for grabs, if DeLaSalle wins this, they would likely take the Tri-Metro. This could also come into play if both teams get out of their section and into the state tournament round.
Yes, which it's possible for both teams.
It's possible, but both do have a tough assignment. Meister, she's got 10 points as she floats that one in, and Holy Angels calls a timeout.
You know, we don't get to see a lot of post players that have good footwork with Ariana being able to handle the ball the way that she does, which we haven't had an opportunity to see her do tonight. Allows her to be able to move more fluidly in the paint. And she has some great up and under moves, which are going to pose huge problems for defenders in the coming years.
In the first half, we spoke of the history with these two schools and their run of state tournaments. That history culminated back in 2019 when these two met in the Class 3A semifinals. If you don't remember, DeLaSalle won it on a last-second bucket from N.J. Weems. It was the third time
Yes.
those two had met. DeLaSalle had gotten their full team back from injury. It was an epic semifinal, and then DeLaSalle was able to run away from Becker to capture the 3A championship that year.
Great season for DeLaSalle in 2019.
And that Holy Angels team had Frankie Bastillero, Rachel Kowicki. There were some playmakers. It's always fun when you get to battle a conference rival in a postseason format. It was DeLaSalle who called the timeout. So I thought it was Holy Angels, it was DeLaSalle. But the Islanders do have a 4-point lead. That being said, we have a long way to go. Oh, dangerous pass. Kassie Caron off balance.
And Cassie's all over the place. She's getting her hand on the ball for shots. She's getting in there for rebounds.
Contact. Holy Angels showing some press. Kassie Caron with the shovel pass to Pritchard. And she went off balance there. White with the block. Loose ball. Savannah White is all over the interior. And that's not a good sign. Officials having to stop play. Kassie Caron walking gingerly back to the bench. Looks like she's favoring the ankle again.
You know, and you can see the coaches. You know, yeah, should you stop the game? Should you not stop the game? We'll let the officials deal with that. But as far as the players, when there's an opportunity to convene with your team, take it. We've never seen a ref change a call. They're not.
White launches another three, short that time. Buer for three, drills it. Buer with 14.
That was a great decision to kick it back out to her. We're going to see if Runsewe can reply. Yeah.
15, Sydney Runsewe for 3.
Holy Angels, though, catches DeLaSalle falling asleep. And it's a 2-point game. The athletic trainer working on Kassie Caron. She's tweaked that ankle a couple of times as she tries to work her way back. White penetrates. Missed the putback.
And I'd find my shooter again.
O'Rourke goes up, can't hit the runner. Grace Massaquoi is there. Another miss down low. She won't miss that time.
Whew, I almost said, praise God from whom all blessings flow, because
It's okay, LaToya. We are at a Catholic school. I think you can get away with that here.
sometimes you just need those easy buckets to get you going. And here we are with 8:15. Is the clock still going? 8:13 on the clock.
And I think the officials took notice, so they're going to the scores table to correct it. And I give them props for that. Yep, 7 seconds ticked off because this is a tight game. The last thing you want is to have a clock error come into play.
Yes.
Grace Massaquoi completes a three-point play. She was in a bit of a rut against Washburn, scored 17, but didn't shoot all that well. Holy Angels with the interception. Here comes Massaquoi again. And if Massaquoi has awakened, that could spell big trouble for DeLaSalle. Massaquoi didn't score in the first half. She's got 7 now.
You know, Jordan had her pinned for a long time. She just really worked her around the whole arc there.
And Jordan Johnson shooting free throws. Jordan, the 5'10 freshman, averaging 8.2 points per game.
Is this Jordan's first year playing varsity, Mike?
I'll have to talk to James about that when I see them on Saturday, because I did not see this DeLaSalle team last year. But Johnson knocks down both free throws and almost got the steal there. Talk about getting back on defense.
And that's exactly what we wanted to see from all players, to be able to get into those passing lanes.
And I see Kassie Caron back on the bench for Holy Angels. That's a welcome sign. And not having any ice pack, anything like that. Maybe just needed to stretch a little bit. We'll see if she comes back in. 1 point game. Back and forth. Go ahead.
You can see defensively, Savannah, when Grace gets the ball outside of the arc, she doesn't even put her hands up.
How about the fearlessness of Jenna Buer? 16 off the bench. She can add 2 more. That's just the second foul on Meister.
Yeah, that's one thing we talked about in the opening, is that Holy Angels running that pass and cut offense and trying to get some of those younger players to bite on it and get into foul trouble and get into the line and knocking down some free throws.
And Buer has been clutch at the free throw line as of late. Another 3 from Runsewe, short that time. But White using her wingspan to get the carom. Not for long though.
I mean, if they don't know by now that Savannah's looking for Runsewe, when they watch the film, they're going to figure it out.
Massaquoi for 3. Pritchard with the O board, but didn't see the coverage behind her. Johnson in trouble.
That was good hands, though, for her there to stop that little drop-off.
Jordan Johnson stepped out of bounds. So Holy Angels can exhale for the moment. 7:20 to go.
And that's 2 plays back-to-back that we've seen Jordan Johnson get her hands in there, attempt to steal.
She's guarding Pritchard. Massaquoi getting a signal from Dan Woods. Isn't sure where to go with it. Holy Angels stuck out the key. Caron, pump fakes. Eye hole, all 3 of those. Dan Woods calls a timeout. That gamesmanship with Sydney Runsewe, Kassie Caron gets a new season high with that, but that gamesmanship with Runsewe pulled the fake and gave her just enough space to fire away.
Yeah, you got to know who your shooters are. Get your hand out. What did it say? Hand down, man down, hand down? I probably said that wrong.
Well, for starters, we're talking about female athletes. I'll show myself out, folks. 6:57 to go. And Holy Angels now has 4 timeouts. Kassie Caron, a new season high. Holy Angels, when you add up their totals thus far, 37 bench points, DeLaSalle 4.
And, you know, I wasn't expecting that. I was expecting DeLaSalle's bench to really come in because they have some heavy hitters on their bench there.
Remember, though, their depth a little less than usual without IT Salam. She'll be back for Saturday's game. So that element not working in DeLaSalle's favor.
Yeah. You know, with the COVID precautions that are going on, it's just going to be extremely important for our girls to stay safe these next few weeks, finishing up the conference and going into sections. And so that's one thing that we talk about at our house all the time. It's just making sure that we're staying safe so that we can stay active on the floor.
Stay safe, stay smart. If there's any respite, is that any respite to celebrate. Wastewater data, of all things, suggests we have turned the corner, so I'd like to think February will be less volatile. as far as getting games in. Grace Massaquoi on the drive.
And as you can see, the defensive assignment was different for her today. She had Johnson on her that time.
And Massaquoi capitalizing on that assignment. Here comes the Holy Angels press. Scott lost it. Wow.
That's one I'd like to see the replay on.
I didn't see a lot of contact. That's going to send DeLaSalle to the line. I did not see a lot of contact. Well, you know how I feel about it, but
yes.
It's a break for Anisha Scott. DeLaSalle ball. The Tri-Metro's top rivalry, living up to the billing. White to Johnson underneath. Count it!
You know, it's something.
Go ahead.
That's a definite skill set and an asset to be able to post up and catch somebody on your back. And DeLaSalle has 2 post players. And if we could count Savannah as a post, which she can play any given day, that would be 3 post players where they can actually genuinely post up and make a move underneath the basket. That's going to be extremely hard to defend.
Meister with the rebound. DeLaSalle with the arrow, so the Islanders have a chance to close the gap considerably here. And with Savannah White, that's why I call her point forward.
Yeah.
Off the inbound, Meister, not that time. Johnson can't save it. Stars catch a break. Massaquoi on Runsewe. Sydney says,
no
not
way.
while I'm here.
Not today.
O'Rourke going in for Kennedy.
No, we haven't seen Kassie come back in yet with 5:54 left on the clock, so.
O'Rourke swung too far out, stepped on the line. Well, going back to what I was saying earlier, the coach is mindful, trying to be as careful as they can about Cassie's injury because they don't want to lose. Oh! Fans wanted a carry on White. We play on. She's left alone. Can't hit the 3 there. Massaquoi goes up. Gets her own rebound momentarily.
You know, she hit it off of her foot. That's one thing. You get that ball underneath the basket, there's really no need to put it on the floor. You can just go right back up.
Jump ball call.
And Grace has the acumen to do it.
Yeah, we've seen her tip a few in.
We saw her do exactly that when she dropped 32 against Benilde St. Margaret's. Buer for 3. That would have been big for Holy Angels. 6-point game. Gutsy call on the part of Kassie Caron, and if you're Holy Angels, I'm not sure how you feel about that because now you send DeLaSalle to the line for another free throw trip.
See, what have they been doing at the free throw line so far?
DeLaSalle 7 of 12.
Okay, yeah, that's iffy.
They're shooting better than the first meeting, that much I can tell you. Bass has a couple of 3s to her credit. Doesn't score a lot, just 2.5 a game. Rebound! And DeLaSalle will have to settle
one thing they're
going
to learn is they're going to have to put a body on Aaron.
Well, if these two meet again in state, this is the last time these two will face off. Massaquoi gets her own miss. Buer got it. Jenna Buer has her second 20-point game of the season. Runsewe through traffic. Deflected, goes up with it. Massaquoi wins the foot race. Holy Angels with numbers. Kassie Caron with the finish.
Now we got to make a decision because we got 2
Oh,
shooters.
that's tough. Kassie Caron, I don't think after a bucket like that,
You want to send him to the
speaking for me,
line.
I don't think you need to be that aggressive.
You're correct with 4:22 left on the clock.
Now you put DeLaSalle in the double bonus and you pick up your 4th foul. And Dan Wood's giving Kaylee instruction. I really didn't think you had to take that kind of risk. Now you're putting a cold player as far as playing time at the line in Maya McNeil.
Stars, number 12, Anisha Scott back in for the Islanders.
But that bucket puts you up 9. You know, go back, play defense. Don't pick up a silly foul. And I don't know if John's agreeing with me or if he's remarking at some other observation. But Holy Angels does catch a break. DeLaSalle blanks at the line. They have a chance to perhaps salt it. Buer with a fortuitous bounce.
Pierce all over the place today. She's getting it done for Holy Angels tonight.
22. That matches a season high. Pierce swats that one away. Holy Angels with their largest lead of the game, and they're doing this. Well, there's Kassie Caron. I was about to say,
Yeah,
Kassie
she just
hasn't
checked
come
back
back.
in, yeah.
She feels well enough. I think she wants to close this out. But DeLaSalle has other ideas. Timeout, Islanders, after Johnson scored.
And Johnson comes right back in. DeLaSalle goes back big. That's what's been working for him because they're able to post up and dominate on the boards when they have the, Aaron and Johnson and Savannah in. And they're able to kick the ball if they need to Runsewe. So the Holy Angels are going to have to lock it down, make sure they box out. The advantage to that is Holy Angels is smaller. They can run the floor, get the outlet, score some easy, quick buckets.
76-67 now. DeLaSalle still has 2 fouls to give. So if they play foul and chase, they're going to have to hack a couple of times. And to recap this game thus far, Jenna Buer matching a season high with 22. She put up 22 in the win over Visitation. Kassie Caron with a new season high, 17 points. And that has amazed me, LaToya, in my return this season, all of the new season highs. That pass a little long, but Buer will catch up to it.
I tell you, outrun them.
Looking to go baseline, feeling it!
So I'd say they went with a bigger lineup. We have a smaller lineup, get the ball out. And so DeLaSalle, they're going to post up and go inside.
But how about Jenna Buer making lemonade out of lemons? That
Yes.
inbound pass was a little long. Buer saw a lane, said, you know what? I'm in the groove. Let's make something happen.
Yes, she's doing an amazing job tonight. She is getting it done for Holy Angels.
So Buer with a new season high. Kassie Caron with a season high. That's not what I was expecting. Oh, sloppy pass. Sydney Runsewe says thank you very much. And another steal. This could be the break DeLaSalle was looking for, but Johnson too far underneath. Here come the Stars. Kassie Caron, the dagger. Yes!
Ooh, Kassie!
Scott off balance. Here comes Buer. She wants to drop another one.
And no foul needed.
Runsewe trying to force it there. Well, if Holy Angels hangs on, and it looks that way, this would be their 6th straight. More importantly, it would preserve a seating line above DeLaSalle. Again, if both make it to state. Benilde St. Margaret's, they've been on a streak of their own. They could pose a challenge for Holy Angels. Here's Buer, who wants 3 more. Well, I guess she can't have it all, but she has played tremendously tonight.
Nice offensive reset here.
2:15 to go, and Holy Angels, they can kill clock now. And DeLaSalle still has to foul another time before they put Holy Angels in the bonus. Massaquoi, elbow J, swish. You know what, LaToya, as much as we've talked about the bench duo of Kassie Caron and Jenna Buer, I think another difference in this one, well, that's a foul on Grace. Massaquoi, 11 second half points. You look at the score, Grace capitalizing on the time she wasn't assigned to White.
Yes.
If Grace doesn't step up in the second half, this might be a closer contest.
Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right.
How big of a win is this for Holy Angels?
It speaks volumes, you know, like you say, that this is a matchup that we look forward to every year, and so to be able to capitalize off of it, and then for your bench to show up the way that they showed up, that gives you great confidence going into the latter part of the season here.
Scott makes the back end. Timeout DeLaSalle, but I don't think there's enough time for them to work their way out of this. Two of them get season highs. DeLaSalle's bench outscoring, or I should say Holy Angels outscoring DeLaSalle 45-8 from the bench.
I don't think that was in their scouting report.
Now again, no IT Salam, so you wonder how much that is affecting DeLaSalle. We'll see her play on Saturday. And we saw this DeLaSalle team. You look at the score, you think maybe Holy Angels had control of it. DeLaSalle, they came out flying.
They did.
I think the key for them moving forward, sustaining those early runs, because they were the aggressors to start each half. The problem was Holy Angels worked the momentum in their favor.
And we saw DeLaSalle do a lot of subs. They had a lot of different personnel come in. They switched up defenses a couple of times. And so just kind of getting to that rotation and syncing a lot quicker is going to be beneficial for them.
Kassie Caron with 16, Grace Massaquoi with 11. I was talking with Lisa, the matriarch of the Carons, who was saying, I hope Kassie has a decent game. This is why it's a team sport. I don't know if she was expecting Kaylee to go off or Jenna Buer, but that's why it's a team sport. Now Kassie the leading scorer, but coming off of injury. Grace not having the best performance. Went ice cold in the first half. That's a foul on Pritchard, so that will send Scott to the line with the clock stopped. And DeLaSalle, we should point out, they are in the same section as Como Park. And much like this game, DeLaSalle, they had an edge against Como Park for a time when they met in the regular season. And then Ronnie Porter scored on 4 straight possessions. We're going to see Como Park on Monday.
You know, the gem about that is that both of these teams, they have girls who've played together recently in the AAU season, so they know each other. And so it makes for a really, really good game because they know what your strengths and your weaknesses are without having to even watch film on you.
So DeLaSalle uses up their last foul to give. Scott makes both free throws.
And, you know, Holy Angels has to be careful with the press that DeLaSalle has on. This game is still within reach.
Well, 133, Holy Angels calls a timeout. A lot would have to happen for DeLaSalle to make a run at this. But again, got to be careful, and the Islanders have the speed. 83-72, Holy Angels. When you look at a score like this, they've put up some big numbers all season long, and even though that big senior class graduated, Joe Berg and Dan Wood said, you know what, we can run faster than before.
Mm-hmm.
And the Stars, on top of some of the other notables, it's the third time this year they have scored 80 or more.
It's pretty high-scoring offense there.
Well, Holy Angels, they can run up the score. They are far and away the highest scoring team in their section, averaging 70 a game.
When you have multiple players that are averaging double-doubles, three-point shooters.
Double figures. Massaquoi, right idea, but took a step too early. There's the stop you were talking about.
And so when we talk about things that can happen, and so you get a three-point shot going on, they're in the double bonus.
And you've got a pair of three-point sharpshooters. But Runsewe, I think that was deflected. Jordan Johnson is there for the cleanup. That makes it a 9-point game. So DeLaSalle has a lifeline, but not a huge one. Holy Angels will be in the bonus at the next foul. And there it is from White. That will be her third.
Number 2, Savannah White of the Islanders. That's her third personal.
How about the resiliency of Holy Angels against a team like DeLaSalle? And of course, all these girls know it's a long game, but you take a couple of punches, that might spell doom for other teams. Holy Angels found an answer.
Yeah,
And
they have a
Grace
system
Massaquoi
and they
gets the
believe in
O-board.
it.
Massaquoi with the O-board, timeout. Holy Angels 55.5 on the clock. Like we said earlier, we might be here a while if this one's close.
You know, Holy Angels, they have a system and they believe in it. They've seen it work before, so it's easy to get your team to buy in and say, hey, let's just keep going, because they know it works.
It certainly is for Holy Angels. And they will go to the free throw line for 1 and 1 if they're fouled again. If they hang on, it would be their 6th straight win, and they could pick up a lot more before they play Becker. Kassie Caron with a new season high. Her nickname growing up was Smalls, and even after she grew a few inches, her friends still call her Smalls, but her role tonight, anything but.
That was the right person to foul. You know, I heard their coach saying foul, foul, foul.
And it's 1 and 1, so if Pritchard misses the front end, that could give DeLaSalle an opening.
You know, one thing we used to do at Como is we would identify who had the lowest free throw shooting percentage, and on the inbounds play, that was the only player we would allow to be open.
There's the stop. Runsewe needs this 3. Doesn't get it.
And we've seen her knock that down before I get her feet underneath her. And
as we noted, this season she's been hit or miss from three-point range. Numbers have her at 25%. That can make things difficult.
ooh,
And Grace Massaquoi to the line, and that's why if you're DeLaSalle, it can be so difficult to work your way back. So many things have to go your way.
yes.
So Massaquoi to the line. I've referenced this before, but sometimes how you handle the ugly games can define who you are as an athlete and as a team. Grace Massaquoi had an ugly first half in every sense of the word, but she shook that off. She has 12 second half points, can make it 13 here. Again, without her scoring, maybe Holy Angels doesn't hang on for this win.
Yeah, and you know, one of the top players in the States was defending her tonight, and so that would make it difficult for anyone.
But the crafty ones find a way to compensate. That's going to be an offensive foul.
And that's a little bit of that high-low game, even though it was an offensive foul, that once they kind of get in sync, that's going to work really well for DeLaSalle.
The Islanders, they'll have some chances to regroup, and again, they'll get Salon back, which should help their scoring considerably. But Holy Angels withstanding the early assault from their Tri-Metro rival. Grace Massaquoi goes in for the encore. That will give her 14. And Holy Angels picks up perhaps their biggest win of the calendar year. Sydney Runsewe drops another 3, but academic. Holy Angels fights off a pair of early assaults and extends their winning streak to 6, 86-77 the final. Kassie Caron, 17 points. Jenna Buer, 24, both season highs, both coming off the bench. This Holy Angels team making a huge statement tonight.
They definitely put their stamp on this conference tonight.
So that gets them a split with DeLaSalle and at the very least should preserve some seeding opportunities if both were to make it to state, but a long way between now and then. We'll try to get a word with our bench heroes, Kaylee and Jenna, before we call it a night. This is high school girls basketball. Holy Angels beats DeLaSalle 86-77. Joining me are a pair of bench players who dropped a pair of season highs. Jenna Buer and Kassie Caron. Jenna, we'll start with you. Your second 20-point game, and you really have stepped up your production over the last several games. Those 24 points came in handy tonight. When did you sense that you were feeling it, so to speak?
I mean, after I hit like a couple of shots, I go on like streaks, and I was just feeling like, I'm going to make these. And also, I told you I was going to hit 20 points.
And now you've done that twice.
Yeah.
Well, you have an impeccable memory, better than mine anyway. That attitude, I think, was most emblematic when you took an off-target inbound pass. Holy Angels was going deep. You were stuck in the corner, saw an open baseline, and said, you know what, let's see what happens. And you get a big bucket. So how do you think your confidence has grown over the season?
Well, I feel like as, you get more comfortable with how you play and your playing style, and you learn more like what you can do, and then you just realize in those situations like all the pieces fall together.
I think there's another star of the game behind you there. I'm guessing he's the reason you won.
That's my nephew.
That's he's probably why you won, right?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
So, Jenna, big conference rival, DeLaSalle, they got the early jump to start the first and second half, but over time, you found a way to overcome that. What do you credit for those adjustments?
Just being mentally strong and having my teammates, to support me.
Well, one of them scored 17, 5 triples. Kaylee, I didn't know you had that in you. Did you learn a thing or two from Kassie as far as three-point shooting?
We've always grown up shooting together, so of course I've always taken after her with shooting.
After a game like this, you might have to consider a new nickname. I understand your friends still call you Smalls. Your performance was anything but.
I'll always be Smalls.
Well, as far as the point total is concerned, not tonight. You were huge, ginormous, enormous, whatever synonym or adjective you wish to use. But to come off the bench like you do and drop all those threes, how do you think that helps energize Holy Angels?
Anyone can come off the bench and shoot, and it can be one player giving energy. It can be Jenna giving us energy. All it takes is one player to get us going. And tonight it happened to be both of us.
You saw the DeLaSalle team before. That time the Islanders won it. Of course, your big sister wasn't available. This time around, it looked dicey for a moment, but you found a way to win. What do you credit for the resurgence?
I credit us all working together as a team. DeLaSalle's a great team, and we just stuck together and pushed through.
With the roster back at full strength, what are you most excited about? I guess, Jenna, now that you have 2 20-point games, 30 is probably your next milestone, but what are you most excited about, and what do you think this win communicates to everyone wearing a Stars uniform?
We're back. We're here.
You mean I didn't think you left.
No, our full roster.
Okay, I'm like, yeah, you guys haven't gone anywhere. Go ahead. I'm having a little fun here.
Yeah, no, we're all back. We're all ready to play together again, and it's great.
What about you, Kaylee?
Now that we're all back, we're able to continue putting in work to keep growing as a team.
And before you go, you want to say hi to anybody?
Hey, Mom.
I already saw my nephew, but hi to my parents, I guess, and my sister.
So 30 points. Can we count on that now, Jenna, next time I see you?
Yeah, it's coming.
It's coming. 30 points. So be on the lookout, Stars fans. Jenna is going to break some more scoring marks before the season is through. I don't know about that. But more importantly, you got a big conference win. Thanks for stopping by. Congrats on the win. And we'll see if this carries over to February.
All right, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Kassie Caron and Jenna Buer from Holy Angels, and that wraps up our coverage. From Richfield, for LaToya, Turk, and the rest of our crew, I'm Mike Peden. Thanks for watching.